Hey everyone, so I just wanted to do a very quick video training for you on the 12 things that I really feel are the pillars to success. For those of you who don't know me, or for those of you who have not been following my story that long, I am a visibility coach and business mentor for online businesses. So anyone that is a service-based business that gets their clients online, coaches, consultants, copywriters, web designers, healers, psychics, anyone that's in the service-based business that wants to learn how to grow a business online, I am your girl. And I am actually a self-professed introvert. When I first started my business, I was very shy, kept to myself, which meant that I made no money. So that's why I'm so passionate about coming up with different ways to really connect with your audience, build relationships, and become visible in a way that feels really, really authentic to you. So last week, I actually attended a high-level mastermind. It was my first mastermind of this kind, and I was really, really blown away by the people that I was able to connect with, some of the people that I was able to learn from. I mean, I got to basically have someone who runs a $100 million a month business take a look at my business and give me some suggestions on improving and making things work a little bit differently. So that was really priceless. I got to mingle with some people that are in mainstream media, Huffington Post, Fox News, CNN, Forbes. Really, really incredible stuff. And it just really got me thinking about how I may have been playing a little bit small lately, and I really just had to go through and figure out, like, what are the things that I absolutely need, or what are the things that you absolutely need, or anybody absolutely needs when they're starting a business, and the things that are really going to set that really strong foundation. Because there's so many new coaches, there's so many new people popping up online, there's so much misinformation as well, and I really want to get down to the nitty-gritty about what it really takes, the things that you really need, the things you can totally ignore, and just really focusing in on the things that are going to create a business that, not only a business that you love, not only a business that makes you money, but one that's actually going to last. I think this is something that so many coaches just glaze right over. We can talk about having a 10K month, or having 10K in 10 days, or whatever you want to do, or I get all my clients on Facebook, whatever people are out there preaching. But how long is that going to last? How is that going to be sustainable? Is it going to be sustainable for the next 2 months? Is it going to be sustainable for the next 2 years? How about the next 10 years? How about the next 20 years? So I wanted to just really quickly go over the 12 pillars of success, and the things that I really feel like are going to help you get profit, impact, and the freedom that you desire. So I'm going to go over them really, really quickly, and then at the end I have something really special for you. So the first thing, and you have probably heard me say this before, and you'll probably hear me say it a million times after this, it is mindset. Mindset is so crucial when it comes to being an entrepreneur and really understanding your worth, your value, how you're going to make things happen, your belief in yourself, your faith in yourself, and just understanding, how it is to be an entrepreneur. And I really believe that in order to be successful, you have to consider yourself an entrepreneur. You have to consider yourself a businesswoman, a business person, and a business owner, not just a coach or a consultant, or, whatever it is that your specialty is. That's only one piece of it. It's one thing to be really confident in what you do and skilled in what you do. It's quite another to be a successful business person. So mindset is crucial. You've got to have that entrepreneur mindset. You have to have an excellent money mindset if you want to really make a big profit, if you want to have a business that's going to be long lasting. And you also have to have this mindset where you believe in yourself, and you believe that these goals and this vision that you have is going to be sustainable, is going to be repeatable, and that you can do this over and over and over again. For me, one instance was, I was kind of plodding along, and I was making about $5,000 or $6,000 a month in my business, which is nothing to sneeze at. It just wasn't where I wanted to be. It just wasn't enough to cover my bills, wasn't enough to pay off my debts, wasn't enough to pay for the coaches I wanted to invest in. So the $5,000 or $6,000, like I said, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't enough for me. And when I first had my first 5-figure month, which was a $12,000 month in December of 2014, I decided in that moment that I would never have anything less than that a month. And to this day, we're 10 months, 11 months later, and that's the reality. The reality is I've never made anything less than 5 figures every single month consistently. And yes, my income does kind of go up and down. Sometimes I'll have, a 50K month. Sometimes I'll have a 100K month. Sometimes I'll only have a 40K month or a 20K month. So it does kind of go, in phases. But that really all depends really on, if I'm launching something, how many clients I can take on. So we'll get more into that later, but I just wanted to give you an example of mindset and how when you really believe something and you put your mind to something, you can make it happen. You are the creator of everything. You are the creator of your life. You are the creator of how your business is going to go. So your mindset is crucial. The next thing I want to talk about, the second thing is goals. So it is incredible the amount of people that I talk to that do not have goals. They may have like a monthly goal, or they may, say, I got to pay my rent this month, or, I got to pay my mortgage, or I got to pay off this debt. And like, that's their goal. But they don't really have, these longer term goals. They don't have a longer term vision for what they want financially. And it doesn't make any sense, right? Because if you're a business person, you can't just think, in this box here and, just within your site. You have to really think outside of the box. You have to look at the big picture and set specific goals for, not just financial, but for your lifestyle, for how many clients you want to take on, for how many things you want to launch, for how much profit you want to make, how much, expenses you're going to have. It just amazes me how many people have no plan whatsoever about how to grow and scale their business. That is not the mind of an entrepreneur. That is the mind of somebody who's an amateur. So get your goals in place. Think of a long-term vision. How are you going to make this happen? How are you going to make it sustainable? Goals are super important. So the next thing I want to talk about is experience. And when I say experience, I don't necessarily mean your experience in your trade or your craft. So obviously that is important. You're going to need to be skilled in whatever it is that you do. If you're a copywriter, if you're a designer, if you're a coach, you have to know what you're doing, right? But what I really mean is the experience that your customers get when they work with you. So crucial. I know so many people that are way, way talented. They are brilliant at what they do, but their communication sucks. Their feedback sucks. And it just kills your reputation as a business owner. You have to be congruent. You have to really make sure that, once your people are in, once you make the sale, once you hook them, once they're on your email list, that you're giving them an experience to remember. Because that's what's going to make people talk about you. That's what's going to make people rave about you. That's what's going to make people want to give you testimonials, is the way that they feel once they're inside your program or once they start working with you. So don't forget this part. Just because you make the sale doesn't mean that you stop trying to impress them. It's kind of like dating, right? So, a lot of times I actually feel like this happens when people date is, they go on a date, or, the guy's courting you for, a couple weeks, couple months. Then finally, you give in and you're like, great, we're gonna be together. We're going to live together. We're going to whatever. And then all of a sudden, everything goes out the window. All of the nice things that he did and the buying of the flowers and all that stuff just goes out the window. So you don't want to be that guy, okay? You want to make sure that your clients and your customers have an amazing experience, especially after they purchase from you. And also remember that, somebody that has bought from you once is more likely to buy from you again than someone who's never bought from you. So make sure that you treat your people with respect, and make sure that you put them on that high pedestal. So number 4 is leadership. Now, leadership, I think, goes a little bit along with the entrepreneur mindset. You really have to step into that role if you're going to be a businesswoman, if you're going to be somebody who is going to make this last and make this go for the long term. You really just have to step into that role, and you have to claim your authority in your niche. people love confidence. People love people that know what they're doing. So, stop being shy, stop being the follower, be the person that's going to go out there, stake your claim, and take leadership in, what you're doing and in your role. And with your leadership, you're actually going to, inspire others to do the same. Don't apologize for this, guys. You are leaders. If you're here, if you're listening to this, if any of this is resonating with you, if you're trying to start a business, if you want to make this life for yourself, you've got to step into that role. So next is positioning. So I talk about this a lot, and there's so many different ways to look at this, but the way that I want to talk about positioning is positioning yourself in the marketplace with a solid brand, okay? So that people know who you are, people know what you do, people recognize you for a specific thing, and really, don't be wishy-washy. There's so many people that want to just help so many people. They want to have, 3 different ICAs, and, I can help this person, and this person, and this person, and I can help them with X, Y, and Z. Be really specific about what you help people with. And I'm not saying, this does not mean that you can't do all the other stuff if you're multi-passionate, but really position yourself to be known for one thing. Once you're, excellent at that one thing, once you have, been successful at that one thing, then you can move on to the next. Actually, in my mastermind, what we learned was that, essentially what you should do is pick one thing. Once you can get that thing to 6 figures and that's steady, then you can kind of move on to like the next aspect of your business. So, I have some clients that, have 2 different ICAs. They maybe work with corporate and then they work with regular people. So, just really decide what you want to do, really decide what you want to be known for, because that is how you're going to position yourself in this industry. And in this really tough and competitive industry, you want to stand out, and you will not stand out if you're wishy-washy. You will not stand out if you are everything to everyone. The next thing is your list. Your list is gold. So I'm going to talk about social media in a bit, but I really think that there are too many people that are so focused on social media, so focused on these platforms, that they are forgetting about the list. So the list is tried and true. This is where your people are. These are the people that raised their hand and said, I want to hear from you. And you can't neglect these people. You also can't neglect to build your list. What if Facebook goes away tomorrow? What if the people that are running the group decide, I don't want to let you promo in my group anymore? What if they kick you out of the group? What if Twitter goes away tomorrow? What are you going to do? You're going to go to your list. So if you don't have a list, you're done, you've got to have the list. You've got to have a way to build this, and you can do this organically, or you can do this with paid advertising. So either one, but you've got to grow your list. These are going to be quality leads. They're going to be warm leads. This is your warm market. Like I said, they opted into something. They signed up for your challenge. They signed up for a webinar. So they're already a little bit interested in you. So these are the people that will likely buy from you. Next is killer copy. So copy is so, so important. I really don't think that this is something that you should try to do on your own. Maybe in the beginning, if you're just starting, I probably wouldn't dump a bunch of money into a copywriter, especially if you're still trying to figure out your way and, the clarity of your niche and the clarity in your ICA. But once you're very clear about who your market is and how you can help them, get a professional to help you with the copywriting on your page, on your web page specifically. If you need more help, some copywriters do help with, blogging, and some copywriters do help with autoresponder series and things like that for your emails. But you've got to have the good copy. The copy's got to speak to your people. This is what's going to make them want to buy. This is basically what's going to pre-sell them before you get on the phone with them, or before you try to, sell them something on a webinar. So you've got to have that killer copy. You've got to know how to communicate with your people. And like I said, this is on your website, in your emails, and even on, social media. How are you speaking to your people? How are you coming across? You've got to come across as a professional and like you know what you're doing. Next is sales mastery. So sales used to be an icky word for me, and I actually used to go around and say like, I hate sales. I don't like selling, and you know what? I still don't. But I look at it differently. I have a completely different mindset when it comes to sales, when it comes to discovery calls, and when it comes to clarity calls. For me, I look at it as having a really powerful conversation. I look at it as me filling the gap for that thing that the person on the other line or my potential client needs. So sales mastery isn't about a script. Sales mastery isn't about knowing exactly what to say and when to say it. Sales mastery is about listening and providing what your people need from you. And if you can do that successfully and if you can do that confidently, you've got it. So that is something that if you feel is a weak area, go get help. There are plenty of amazing people who do sales and they're brilliant at it, and they can help you kind of, ease into the sales process in a way that feels really good for you. Now, that's one thing. It's got to feel really, really good to you, the sales process. It can't feel, sleazy, can't feel icky, because, this is a reciprocal thing. So if you're a service provider and you are, having clarity calls and the sales process seems ick to you when somebody does it to you, it's going to be reciprocated. People are going to feel the same way when you are, having the sales with them. And I just want to touch on one more thing that doesn't really have to do with sales, but it really has to do with respect. When somebody is scheduling time out to have a conversation with you, a clarity call, free session, show up, okay? There's too many people that just don't show up. They don't have the respect. They never write the person back. Show up, have courtesy, treat people how you want to be treated, and you will have a successful business. All right, so the next thing I do want to talk about now is social media. Now, I love social media. If it weren't for social media, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I grew my business organically, completely in 2013 and 2014, no paid advertising. I didn't start using paid advertising until about mid-2015. So everything that I did up until then, all of my business growth, all of my clients, all of the money I received was completely organically by using social media. Now, I am seeing a trend. I'm seeing a trend lately that kind of is making me think differently about social media, but I know that's just my own stuff and I have to get over it. But I want to let you guys know that if you're going to use social media to get clients or to grow your list or to do, whatever to grow your business, that is completely fine. What I don't want you to do is put all your eggs in one basket. Don't think that the only way you're going to get clients is on Facebook or the only way is going to be on LinkedIn. You have to have different, multiple avenues for clients to find you and reach you. So people that are claiming that I only get my clients on Facebook, that's great, but that is not sustainable. Facebook could go away tomorrow. Then what? You have no list, you have no nothing. Then you have to start all over again. So don't put your eggs in one basket when it comes to social media. Next, don't be a follower. There's too many people that are out there that are seeing what someone else does and they're just doing the same exact thing. And it's really disheartening and it's really sickening. Be original. You're the one that's going to stand out if you're original, if you're the one that is setting the trend. Don't be a follower. There's just way too much of that going on. Don't be that person. You want to stand out. You want to make sure that you're making an impact, and you want to make sure that people notice you. So if you're out there and you're just doing what everybody else is doing, people are going to glaze right over you. They're not even going to notice you. So if you're going to be on social media and if you're going to use this as your primary way to get clients, make sure that you're making an impact. Make sure that you're not copycatting. Make sure that you're not following. Make sure that you are actually making an impact with everything that you put out there. Next is email marketing, which I touched on a little bit with the list, but when I talk about email marketing and how important this is to your business, this is the lifeline of your business. This is going to be, how you are going to communicate with your people. You need to communicate. If you have a list and you are not emailing them at least weekly, you're doing something wrong. You need to connect with these people. You need to make sure that they know that you're thinking of them. You have to nurture them because, like I mentioned before, these are your warm leads. These are the people that are going to buy from you. So you have to have email marketing plan in place, especially if you're going to run any type of paid advertising campaign, you want to make sure that you have funnels in place. You want to make sure that your list is segmented so that you can, create a better experience for your people, so that you're not selling them things that they don't need, so that you're not jumping in and as soon as somebody gets on your list, you're offering them something, but you actually have a system in place for your email marketing. And there's also plenty of people out there who help specifically with this. This is actually something I do help my clients with as well, is actually helping them come up with, their autoresponder series and really a sequence and a funnel so that you're basically creating a selling machine for your business. Which brings me to the next point, which is automation. If you want a long, sustainable business, you've got to, set up the automation as soon as possible. What I mean by automation is as many things as possible that can be automated. Your email marketing, your social media. Get help, hire a VA, hire an OBM, hire a social media manager, hire someone to help you automate the processes of your business so that you're not spending time doing these mundane tasks, so that you are actually spending your time creating, you're spending your time actually coaching people or doing whatever it is that your specialty is, and you're actually spending time, on your business, and you're not busy, grinding and, doing all these little tasks and these little things. So make sure that this stuff is automated so that you have a business that's going to be sustainable and repeatable. And the last thing I want to talk about is continuity. So what I mean by continuity, sort of like passive income, some people I guess would call it. But for me, it's more just having a steady income and having income every single month that is coming in. So for me, a couple different ways that happens is my membership site. I have a membership site where people come in, they buy monthly, they can cancel anytime. But I know pretty much, I'm going to make, $5,000 every month just from my membership site. Right now, I'm about to bump that up so that I can have, an increase in income every single month without having to do a thing. Obviously I have to create the content for the membership site, but it's something that's automated that my team helps me with, and I just create the content. They put it out for me. I get paid every single month, no worries. So even if I never book another client that month, even if, for whatever reason something happens, I know I'm getting that money. The second way is actually through my payment plan. So a lot of coaches like to have their clients pay in full, which is fantastic some of the time. But to be honest, I love getting those monthly payments. I love knowing every single month I'm making at least $25,000 in payments from my clients. That feels good. Yes, it feels good to get a nice big chunk of money, but it also feels good to not have to worry that income is coming in every month. So continuity, think about how you can create something that's going to produce income for you over and over and over again. Also with continuity, like I mentioned before, people that have bought from you are likely to buy from you again. So if you have a membership site or, something that's like on a monthly plan, those people are likely going to buy from you. So they're people that you can upsell to. You can transfer them into your other program. They can continue working with you one-on-one. So there's so many different ways to really use this. So those are the 12 things. And I know I talked a lot and I tried to, just get as much as possible in there for you without wasting, too much time. I wanted to get it in. I wanted to get it quick. So I'm going to quickly recap the 12 things. They are mindset, goals. Make sure you have your goals, big picture goals, your client experience, leadership, your list. Your list is super, super important. Positioning, sales mastery, killer copy, social media marketing, email marketing, automation, and continuity. So I know you're not going to remember all those things. So what I actually did was I put all of this together in a PDF, which you will find in the link below, and actually made it into a checklist. So you can kind of go through all 12 things, see where you're at, when it comes to these 12 things? Are you good with them? Do you feel like you have a really good handle on them? Are there something that you need a little bit of help with? Is it something that you haven't even thought of? So download the worksheet, kind of get really into these 12 things and see if you are implementing them in your business. And if you are not, and if you are not seeing the income that you want in your business, well, there you go. Next, I just want to talk about all of these 12 things I actually go into depth with in my Inner Circle, which is a new program that I put out. And it essentially is for people who are a little bit further along in their business, probably 6 to 12 months into business or more. And this is a program that I put together because I'm tired of seeing like the cookie cutter stuff. I know a lot of people can't afford my one-on-one coaching, so I put together the Inner Circle. It's an amazing, amazing program. I'll also link that below. But during that Inner Circle program, I'm actually going to be going into depth into all 12 of these pillars of success so that you have and you can create a sustainable business that lasts. So that is it, guys. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope you learned a lot. Make sure that you download that PDF, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.